Alright, y'all, this Westbank Radio. Right now you're watching Nolazine.
This episode is brought to you by the Loyalty Club, one of the hottest brands out, where they keep their items limited and only for the loyal few. Check us out online at theloyaltyclub.us, or if you're in the New Orleans area, you can check us out at our flagship store, 841 Fulton Street. You already know what time it is. Only for the loyal few, club time.
Okay, so, well, everybody don't know in the world, actually, I know what the Westbank is, so I'm going to just ask you, where are you from?
The Westbank.
Of what?
Merle.
You gotta see New Orleans, man. You know, Nolazine is kind of big, bro. We everywhere. Like, everybody don't know what the Westbank and Marrero is.
Gotcha.
So, you know.
I mean, it's all 504, so, you know.
So, like, growing up in, Marrero, like, who was your first influence to even, like, thinking about becoming one DJ or, like, getting in the music industry, at all?
I'm gonna be real with you. My aunt used to throw parties, right? Cause my daddy's side from the Sixth Ward or whatever, right? So they used to always throw parties. They used to always have a DJ. It would always be the same DJ. And one day I was like, I think I want to be a DJ. I was probably about maybe 10, 11. So after that, I was like, all right, I'm seeing how this goes. So I'm like, all right, I like the way the DJ go. First of all, it really started with, I told my mom I want to throw a party on the West Bank. But you know, they don't be having no block parties and all that on the West Bank like that. So, you know, the block parties was really like mainly like uptown, downtown, or whatever. Never was on the West Bank like that. So when I asked the DJ, I was like, you gonna come to the West Bank? He was like, I ain't DJing on that side. I was like, all right. And to this day, I actually just told him about this story probably like a month ago. And he was like, for real? I was like, yeah. I told him who my aunt was. He was like, oh, I know who that is. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, you know, what made me want to be a DJ, me watching somebody since I was young.
Yeah, but they had a few DJs on the West Bank, actually, right after Katrina, but it didn't last long. And it had a few, before Katrina, but it had to be like in the real hood.
Right.
It had to be like Lincolnshire somewhere, or like in Mary Poppins or Scotch. They got to be in the real hood for it to be a real DJ or block party.
A real block party, yeah.
Yeah, because you know, like, actually before Katrina, majority of the West Bank was like good areas. Mm-hmm. But after Katrina, just everything
went haywire.
It's like everybody, it's like the East everywhere. So, you know, so DJing as well, being a female DJ at that, like, you know, they only have so many known female DJs.
Right.
So, like, when you was jumping in this game, like what was your goals, like, to actually meet as one female DJ?
To be honest, I didn't even have no goals. I was just like, I want to try this DJ thing out because it was something that was on my mind since I was like 11, 12 years old. So by the time I graduated high school, got a job, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to do this DJ thing. So of course, you know, I was always raised to, if you want to do something, you gotta go out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? So of course, I had to work a job to buy equipment and then just go from there. And at the time, I really didn't even know no female DJs, to be honest with you.
Well, what I mean, like, female, they're bigger. Like, they didn't have too many female DJs in New Orleans.
Right.
But they had DJ, Spinderella and all them, like,
right.
like they was actually with groups,
mm-hmm.
like with Salt and Pepper and different people like that.
Right.
But, like, they never had no real, local DJs. And, like, if they did have a female DJ, they kind of moved to, like, Atlanta or, like, L.A.
Right.
So, like, they didn't have, like, if they never really had no real female DJs down here, actually before Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had some that, like, dibbled and dabbled, but they never had no real house DJ. Like,
right.
Like, after maybe...
I heard of one female DJ.
What her name was?
I can't even think of her name. I know she had dreads in her head.
Okay.
And this was, like... I think, to be honest with you, I think I seen her spinning at a party, like, before Katrina.
Yeah, but the first DJ I remember that had, like, a nice... following the name down here was DJ Bombshell.
Right. Yeah, I know Bombshell.
Yeah, Bombshell was the first female DJ I saw. Then it was like you and Allie Baby. Mm-hmm. Then they had a few more come after that.
Right.
But like at first, then they had DJ Duffy, but she wasn't from there. She was just currency DJ.
Gotcha.
But like far as like female DJs, I don't know if the game was hard to get in or people wasn't trying to pay.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think technology kind of changed the game.
Okay.
Technology changed the game. Like, to be honest with you, because if they had to do some of the things that the DJs, even the ones that came before me, do, I don't think a lot of them would want to do that.
I ain't lie to you. I can't see like a DJ Kelly Green. I can't see her carrying all those CDs. like going like working at Masquerade bringing all that DJ equipment on that circle stairs.
They don't understand. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. It was probably like a week ago. I really went through like some crates just like this. I got like 3 crates of CDs, like stealing CD books. Like they don't know that shit. That was a headache.
It was heavy.
But now it's like technology then disappeared the whole CD era. So it's like you get a computer, you own it.
That's the greatest thing that ever happened.
Craziest thing ever happened.
That's great. Like you ain't got to carry all that stuff.
Nothing. Now you just gotta make sure you prepared when you got your crates on your computer.
You gotta make sure just in case you need some speakers, but you didn't need speakers. But if you're gonna do a block party, you're gonna need some.
Oh hell yeah.
But like, well, just for someone who's thinking about becoming a DJ, I want you to tell them the first time you went to go buy on like DJ equipment, like how much do you think you actually spent back in the day?
The first thing I went and bought was probably a CDJ, right? And it was probably about $400. And I don't know if you remember the radio where you had the speakers where you had to run the red and black wire to the back of the radio inside the thing. I actually took the CD player and plugged it to the RCA on the front of the radio, and that's how I was learning how to scratch just with one CDJ.
Hey, if everybody
I was making it work, and then I was like, all right, let me go get a mixer. All right, let me go get another CDJ. By that time, practice,
So let's bring it back. So I'm like, what year would you say that it became one professional DJ?
I mean, I've been taking gigs since like 07, like strongly 07.
So, I'm like, with that being said, I'm like, what do you think is your biggest party that you actually DJ at?
Oh Lord, I did so many. Party as far as
like event.
Man, I done bounced around so much.
Like one, stars, and like one real, star, like event, like all the stars and studded, and like people use like taking the mic from you, everything.
I know the one year when I did Buku Fest, that was like a big crowd. That was probably about 15,000. And then I just did the Kirk Franklin concert he had his concert he had last year.
How was that?
That was packed. That was at the lakefront.
No, but like I was asking, like, how was that for you? Like, did you have to play like church music?
No. I ain't have to play. All I had to do was just DJ a set. I had to mix live. Like I had to take a brown beat and some bounce samples and really mix live.
And before when Kirk Franklin show.
Kirk Franklin, last minute, literally.
So like how did you get that gig?
That came from Key Scott. Okay. Shout out to Key Scott though, for real. He always showing love. You know what I'm saying? Always. So he put me on that. Well, they called him and then he was like, "Let me give you to somebody that he knew could do it." Called me in 2 hours. It was time for
And that's just wild. I wouldn't think they would play any type of bounce music.
But you gotta think about it, like. Bounce is so heavy right now, like, you know what I'm saying? It's getting this buzz where it ain't really to the level where everybody's adapting to it, but it's getting there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like now they know what's hot in New Orleans. They know when they come to New Orleans want to hear that beat. So of course, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And so how do you feel like the bounce game has changed? Ever since you actually been one on a DJ?
Oh, it changed. It probably didn't change. I want to say probably about 3 times. About 3 times since I've been in it. But I feel like it's going in a good direction. I mean, it's a lot of creativity that you got to do to keep the ears, to keep people, listeners.
Because that was my next question for you. Because like some people feel like making a bounce song is super easy. I want you been in the game, producing, DJing it all for a while now. Mm-hmm. I want you to explain if it's easy or it's not.
How should I say this? Well, I'm not going to say it's easy because it's so repetitive. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, you done heard, Frida and Nobit said certain little call-outs on certain songs. And then it's like, people know it's catchy. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to take it and they can run with it with the next song, then the next song, the next song. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's easy, but if you finding something that's repetitive that everybody's saying that's going to be catchy to the ear, you're going to say it on the next track. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really not as easy as what people think it is. Like, anybody can make a rap song. Anybody can make an R&B song. But when it comes to bounce, it's like you gotta be creative. Like whatever you make, it gotta catch their attention. If it don't catch their attention within the first 5-10 seconds, it's over. You might as well cut that off.
And I feel like that about rap too.
True.
Cause I feel like a lot of songs that's actually so-called top rap now, I be like, I don't know how these people made it. I think they're just forcing it on us.
It is. There's a lot of industry plans.
Yeah.
A whole lot. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, them labels, they push what they feel like they want to push. You know what I'm saying? When we know, honestly, like, it's not all that. You know what I'm saying? But, and again, we older, too. So, them youngsters, they adapt to certain stuff. We be like, cut this shit off. You know what I'm saying?
And, you know, see, if the game has changed, you know, sometimes people, like, kind of, quote me. So I basically been saying, you know, the game has changed. You know, back in the day, it used to be like the, you know, if the DJ was like known for breaking artists.
Mm-hmm.
So now I say, man, if the last artist that actually blew up, that actually got signed, come from off of media and blogs.
Right.
Because, don't get me wrong, if the DJ is always needed. But the media, like, if an artist pay for, one post on a blog and it just blow up, it could go way further than paying a DJ. Right. So, like, when I said that, like, a lot of DJs took it like I'm trying to knock their hustle, but I'm just saying the game has changed. You got to find ways as a DJ to kind of, stay relevant and kind of, like, you know, make sure you're doing, you know, if it's your part.
Right.
So, like, do you feel like DJs are like, still, like, breaking records?
Somewhat. I feel like we don't work as hard, and I'm gonna put myself in it too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes as DJs, we quick to run to what's safe to play. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with New Orleans, sometimes you kind of like forced to do that. You know, I hate doing it sometimes, but when I get a song where I feel like I can sneak and play this, I'm gonna sneak and play it. You know, whether I'm playing a minute and a half of it or, you know, if I'm just playing the hook. You know, but I try to. That's just my way of sneaking and, you know, playing records.
Because basically, I was like, you know, I know the game, but most people don't know.
Right.
But, like, you know, in New Orleans, if you play a few, whack songs and you start running the crowd away, 9 out of 10, able to promote it, not hiring you again.
Right.
So, like, a lot of artists come to the club and just thinking, if the DJ posted, throw their song on, and it don't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up in a household where my daddy was a DJ. So, it's just a lot of stuff I know. If I kind of know how to do, I just don't have the equipment.
Right.
But like I know how to break an artist with it, like throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of break the people in, like playing the hook for a while. Then at the end of the night, you play the song.
Right.
And you build that relationship with the artist. But like a lot of DJs don't even know how to do that.
It's not hard. Like
I know it's not hard.
This free game, literally. Right. Like if you know these people gonna adapt to this song, and you know you got a song that you could break that's around the same, I'm gonna say the same BPMs or whatever. You sneak that song in behind a popular song, and then once you play that new song that you know they ain't accustomed to it yet, the next song should be a song that you know they're gonna catch their attention. Easy. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of DJs run from playing new records. They run from playing it. Why? I don't know.
And but another thing, just me, I'm not a DJ all in that world, so I just figured like New Orleans never created that real system for us from DJs. I feel like New Orleans has potential to break artists,
right?
But see, another thing is it's not the DJ's fault. New Orleans has to change its nightlife culture. Mm-hmm. So Baton Rouge and New Orleans is 30 minutes a week, right?
Two totally
but it's two different nights. Like I look at Baton Rouge like, dang, I wish I was out there.
Right.
But at the same time, like I'm from New Orleans, I'm about to drive to Baton Rouge. But they look like they having fun from the time that DJ turn on until the night is over. They jigging and partying. New Orleans, they just looking at you all day. So you kind of don't, like, say if I'm a tourist, I come in the club, and I'm just my first time in New Orleans, you might look at the DJ like, man, you like, but you might question the DJ, even though if the DJ playing good music,
right?
You might be like, there ain't nobody dancing. But the New Orleans only dance, and it's only females, they dance to bounce. But you could hear your song playing, and you might bob a little bit, but you're not engaging how you supposed to in a club.
Right.
So, like, I think, like, what year do you think that changed? Because I remember people used to dance in the club at Hookah Bar and Dreams.
Hell yeah.
So, what year you think New Orleans nightlife just fully just changed where you see no one dance?
I want to say probably music, like the eras where the whole music game kind of changed. I'm going to say probably like, I may be wrong, but I'm going to say maybe 2017, 2018. And that's still kind of late. You know what I'm saying?
But I ain't haven't seen people dance in the club since maybe 2010. And I'm gonna tell you my take. I feel like once once the promoters start like promoting that, you know, you should get a section, people stop engaging.
Right.
Cause people used to be at a hookah bar, dreams, and you everybody dancing on the dance floor. They had they probably had 5 sections at the most.
Right.
Like, so people was really just engaging with each other, like on some house party type of thing.
I'm gonna say that I'm saying like 2017 because I'm really relating it off of probably like the trap music and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when that trap music started to change, it was like, okay, everything getting kind of slow, and, sluggish. People still doing drugs or whatever they doing in the club, and that kind of like throws everything off too. You know what I'm saying? So. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2010, I can see why you saying that though.
But people on drugs in Baton Rouge, they jigging. They on their jiggers.
Man, they must be on some different type of drugs.
They on the same people, but that's their culture to dance.
Right.
Like our main dance is bounce dance. Mm-hmm. And like sometimes it might confuse you if you see a dude bounce dancing, but the culture I grew up on, all the gangsters danced. They were in the parades. They had dance battles, but I don't know what happened.
I think music changed all that though.
But we still got the same bounce. I'm talking about here in New Orleans. I'm not talking about around the world. Like dudes used to dance. Like Fifth Wall Weeby come from being a dancer.
Right.
To a music artist. Like they had real dancers out here.
Right.
Jubilee had dance teams.
Right.
Like they used to have talent shows. I think we have to get back to what we.
That's what we're missing. That's what we're missing.
Right.
I just told somebody that probably right before Christmas. I was like, that's what we missing. You know what I'm saying? Talent shows, you gotta think about it. Everybody was going to talent shows before Katrina.
Right. But see, the problem is now, everybody has social media and everyone feel like they're entitled to be something. So they feel like nobody not trying to go to a talent show and get booed. They feel like they made it already off of their followers. Mm-hmm. So I think that we kind of...
They gonna take it personal.
Yeah. And also, we live in a city where everybody feel played. Like, if everybody boom, they might actually shoot at the crowd. We messed up now.
Right.
Yo, what? So, it's a little different. But I think that we need to find a way to get back to whatever made the urban side of New Orleans great.
Right.
Because so many artists blew up on stuff like way before our era. Like they had on the Gong Show. Partners in Crime. And Bust Down from Marrero. A lot of them people got blowed up in the city of New Orleans from gong shows. What basically is a talent show.
Right.
But even after the gong shows, Cash Money and Big Boy Records did talent shows to find their next artist they'll sign.
Right.
But the problem is now we have the artists that want to portray like they want to be Birdman, but they don't have the money. The difference from Cash Money, No Limit, and Big Boy and Take 4, they had a label. Mm-hmm. So the top people at the label wasn't trying to be rappers, so they were signing people. So they were looking for talent. I don't think people are looking for talent now. Everybody wants to be the talent.
Right.
So I think that's what kind of messed up.
And it's like, and when you find a talent, everybody looking for numbers. You know what I'm saying? If your numbers ain't there, ain't nobody about to sign you. They're not even about to waste your time.
But I tell people don't go off numbers because guess what? If the numbers lie too when they fake.
Right. That's another thing.
It's like you don't really know. You don't know. Because guess what? Even these big artists are fake. The label paying for them numbers. I just think that we don't have enough knowledge down here, so the artists don't be getting it. Artists think that our new artists don't want to pay for nothing.
That's true.
They don't want to pay for DJ. They don't want to pay for blog. They don't want to pay for studio time no more.
Nothing.
But I tell all artists often, man, if you try to rap in 07, 08, that shit costs thousands of dollars.
Trust me,
I think everybody's a rapper now because it's easy and it's damn near free. I think that's why everybody's a rapper.
I'm telling you, I tried to run the studio one time. I was there probably 3 months. I said, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this shit up. That's it.
No, I'm just saying, but back in the day, it cost a lot of money to be a rapper. Just to press your CDs up and build your audience.
Right.
You had to people used to get their vans wrapped. just the CD press up cost like a few $100s.
Right.
Like these artists don't want to spend a few $100s just to get on DistroKey. So I'm like, I think it's a lot of misinformation out there that makes them think that they could just blow up without promotion, without going through these steps.
Right.
Like, what you think went wrong?
Just like you said, everybody think they entitled to something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had people that people don't even know. Like, I really make beats. Like, I really make other shit. Like, I don't just make bounce. You know what I'm saying? And like, I posted a few things I done did, and it was like, man, send me this, send me some beats. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never gonna be like, I'm a person that's just hard up for money for you know what I'm saying, for tracks like that. But in a sense, it's like, I gotta see you got some type of traction for me to just give you something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just gonna just give you every little thing I do. Like, I'm not about to do that. You know, some people feel like, you know, it's necessary. I feel like, hell no. You know what I'm saying?
And I tell people often, people always try to come down here and break the artists through this market. I'm like, this is a very hard market.
Very hard.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, when I knew it was hard, I was watching my iPad. I was watching it with Lil Wayne's festival, and Drake came on, and Drake was singing all the songs that everybody knew, and all this. You just hear a few people in the crowd just vibing to, like, everybody's trying to be hard, just like
standing around.
I know you know Drake songs,
right?
But you not even like Drake concert here and Drake in Baton Rouge would have been a whole lot different. Like, it's just like,
was that the year? That must have was after, because remember Young Boy had said something on the mic when he was performing too one time.
I don't know, but he probably did. But
he did.
But this was last year.
Okay.
This was last year when Amigos performed, and like right before Takeoff went to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Drake up there. As a matter of fact, Drake recorded. Drake was recording the crowd with the song Sticks and Stones. Like, he caught a few lit people, but I was looking through I was just looking at the crowd like, dang.
Always.
It's thousands of people.
I don't know why they do that here. I don't know why they do that here. They will literally waste their time, get dressed. You telling me right now, you getting dressed, you going out with whoever, you might be going by yourself, and you just standing around just looking at people.
All right.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. The only people I saw people turn up for down here for real is maybe Young Jeezy, Beyonce, and the Zulu Ball.
Oh, the hood. You know the hood.
No, but Zulu Ball, I see everybody cut up, they drunk, they have fun.
Right.
But like certain concerts, they just look at the person like they don't know the person's song.
And everybody get mad because concerts don't come through New Orleans like that.
Concerts don't sell in New Orleans like that. If people really do their research, concerts don't sell like that.
I believe you. And I ain't even look at the numbers, but I honestly believe you.
Like, it's a reason why Drake keep pushing his tour back to certain dates, because the numbers wasn't looking right at first.
I believe you.
Like,
that's what I said it had to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm like
New Orleans spent, like, I would say, like, you know, people used to always be like, man, they ain't got no money here. But I saw New Orleans spend money. They spend money what they want.
Of course.
Money what they want. But the problem is our nightlife culture. It was cool, you know. And I understand bourbon kind of, you know, it's bourbon. It's going to be bourbon. But when you go to inside a club outside of bourbon, it looks like, if you really was a tourist, you would look like, damn, it's just like everybody's just standing there looking at each other.
Right.
But you go to a club on bourbon, they still lit. Bourbon probably the only club bourbon clubs are the only clubs in New Orleans that you go see people in there bobbing and dancing.
Yep.
Everywhere else, it's the same thing. And I talk about, it's so bad. I went to a club in Kennedy was doing the same thing. I'm like,
damn.
It's the whole 504. Westbank and all. Probably slide out too. It's like it became a culture, like everybody's looking at each other.
I don't know where that even came from. Like,
I think everybody won't be too cool.
Be cool for what, though? You going out. You supposed to be having fun. You know what I'm saying? With whoever you with.
Right. But that's like, you know, the section, you know, like everybody spent their money being in the same section. They still ain't even party bad in the section. Like, they just looking at people walk around the crowd and smoking their hookah like they cool. Sharing one bottle. So, if they got a young lady watching this interview right now and thinking about becoming one DJ, I'm like, what's your advice to her?
Study for sure. Like, whether you going out, you're going to listen to other DJs. If you do decide you want to be a DJ, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you got to study. You got to do your homework. Don't expect every other DJ to do the homework for you. You know what I'm saying? You might got to travel outside to go see what's going on outside. You know, listen to other DJ mix shows. You know, that's free game right there. You know what I'm saying? You want to know how to break records? I just told you how to break records. You know what I'm saying? You play a familiar record, you play the new record, then you play another familiar record. Easy.
Gotcha. So, what's your advice to one artist trying to build one on like a relationship actually with one on like DJ?
You gotta hit me on my off days.
Not just you. I'm talking about just with any DJ.
I mean, first of all, if you got a record that you want to get broken, you know what I'm saying? I would like for you to give me a clean version, a dirty version, right? So that say if your record do blow up, right, and you got the youngsters on your record. You know, there's a lot of that. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a lot of rappers in New Orleans that got that buzz, and it's really like the high schoolers that really, you know, vibe with them. But ain't none of them got no clean records. So now I got to go take my time and go clean these records just so I can play it at the next event I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I DJ for all ages. I don't, you know, really turn down too much work. You know what I'm saying? But I know for sure, you know, the teenagers, they like to party. You know what I'm saying? So for these artists that got these records and, you know, these high schoolers or these, you know, teenagers like your records, you got to have a clean version. You got to have a dirty version. Give us a variety. You know what I'm saying? So we can know how to push your record. Because if they own it, we got to play it. Simple as that.
Right. Gotcha. So, being in the like DJ game for over, you know, 10 plus years.
Ooh, Lord, 15
like
plus.
Oh, 15. I'm sorry, 15 plus. What do you enjoy most about it and what do you hate about it?
What I enjoy the most is I like to see people partying, dancing, having fun. What I least like about it sometimes y'all want us to play too much damn bounce music. And I hate to sound like what's the word I want to use? I hate to sound like I'm against it because I make it. But, you know, me DJing for a certain age group, I feel like, why do you want me to sit here and play bounce for 35, 45 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Let the DJ be the DJ, and so everybody can have fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of stuck with that, you know what I'm saying? Cause like, man, I could sit up here and play bounce records for 10, 15 minutes, and I know they done had their fun and then danced, and then after that it's like, let me go play some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let me play some rap music. And then everybody just sit down chilling again. I'm like, this what y'all want to hear the whole time? But, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do sometime.
Gotcha. So, alright, what's next for you?
Well, I'm still, you know, making bounce mixes, you know, for clubs or parties or whatever. You know, to keep that going for right now. But I'm actually working on like an instrumental album right now. A couple of them actually. So I'm trying to push forward with that for right now.
Gotcha. So actually before we leave, you know, I can't let you leave without saying your top 5 hottest artists right now in New Orleans.
Whoo. Top 5 hottest artists.
In New Orleans right now.
What you mean, like just whatever, right?
Hey, like it ain't even gotta be it be like actually nobody who you have one on like personal on a relationship with, just somebody you know you hear and you kind of see working.
Of course, you know Rod 49. He got everybody on lock. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the teenagers or the adults, they on that Rod 49. So I'm gonna say Rod 49. I still play a lot of Nino Calvin. The young guy, YD the Illest, they definitely on him. Like, I get a lot of requests from him. I'm trying to think who else. As far as the bounce culture, you know, I can't really pick no 5 artists, man. I'm just gonna play a lot. I'm just gonna pick artists that I know for sure. So like I said, Rod 49, YD the Illest, Nino Calvin, still play. People still, you know, as far as bounce, they love Treaty, they love Keno, they love High Sizzle, they love Subtweet Sean. They like, you know what I'm saying? I can't pick 5 artists, you know what I'm saying? But that's like the rotation that I know I have to play every part that I do.
Wow. I have a new goal and I have one new thing what I'm trying to accomplish. I don't want to separate bounce music and hip hop. I think it's the same thing. Because it already showed that our bounce culture works in the industry. Mm-hmm. We just have to like dumb it down a little bit and like commercialize it. Right. But it's a form of hip hop.
It is.
So I'm not like and so my new goal is to like push it as hip hop. Because like you think about it. What's so different from I'm like Sexy Red and like Magnolia Shorty Monkey on the Dick?
There ain't no difference. It's just Monkey on the Dick is just like a faster record. It's as far as BPM wise, but as far as what they rapping about is the same thing.
We the only city that kind of like separate our culture music from others, cause like in the Bay, they got hyphy music, but that's still considered hip hop. Right.
But like, you know what separated though? The club separated it though.
I think we separate. Like we separate everything.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I think the club separated because you gotta think about it. If you went to a club that probably was popping, I'm gonna say, around the 2010s, right? You might go to a club, you might go downtown, go to a club or a bar, right? You gonna hear bounce probably 80% of the night. You know what I'm saying? The other 20% gonna be hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to like when they had, Dreams and all them other clubs, they're not playing all that shit all night at all.
I ain't hear it at all.
You might hear So Attracted and that was it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but when I first started going out, that's what you probably would hear. You hear like a more like commercialized. The commercial, yeah. Like a Fifth Wall Weeby and Partners in Crime. That probably was the closest thing. But New Orleans nightlife changed so much. I remember you had to really wear a dress code to get in clubs. Like everything, like you could tell everything changed because people wasn't like you had to like. And the promoters had to kind of dumb it down, and for the actually to actually continue to make money because you can't keep turning people around because they don't wear no button down shirt. Right.
And then with then you had to...
And you can't keep turning people around because the person got a hat on. You trying to charge extra because the person got a hat on. Like...
People got sick of that.
Yeah, so the people like, look, we ain't coming why would I pay $50 just to wear a hat in the club one night? Tell me if that makes sense.
It don't make sense. Yeah.
But if they move on people and people actually used to pay it.
Right.
Like, I remember people paying extra just because they had a white t-shirt on. Yeah, they had a lot of hustles in New Orleans nightlife.
Facts. Before the sections and all that shit came.
And like now you can't tell them nothing. You gotta, but you got your money paid? Nah, it's good. So all right. With that being said, last but not least, tell the world what can they find you on social media and everywhere else.
On social media, DJ Westbank Red all together. You can find that on Instagram, TikTok. I'm trying to get into the TikTok thing. Yeah, that's it.